Imagine standing in the most expensive restaurant in Manhattan, a room full of New York's elite, every eye on you. And a billionaire offers you $100,000 if you can serve him in Chinese. For most people, this would be impossible, but for Jasmine Williams, it was only the beginning. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because what happens next is a story of courage, brilliance, and ultimate revenge. You won't want to miss it. It was Tuesday night in the heart of New York's financial district. The Prestige Club was packed, its chandeliers sparkling over polished tables. Jasmine Williams, 29, stood in her crisp black uniform, carrying champagne bottles worth more than most people make in a month. To anyone else, it looked like just another night on the job. But tonight, her life, and the life of the arrogant billionaire sitting across from her, was about to change forever. Richard Blackwood, 52, a real estate mogul with a taste for humiliation, leaned back in his Italian leather chair. He smiled cruelly as he tossed green bills across Jasmine's silver tray. $100,000. Enough to pay off her mother's medical bills and rescue her sister from a failing public school. But it wasn't about the money. This was about power. "What's the matter, honey?" Richard sneered. "Isn't $100,000 enough?" He gestured to 3 Japanese investors at his table. "They'll judge whether your Chinese is convincing." The entire restaurant turned into a modern Roman arena, with every patron pretending to eat lobster while watching the impending spectacle. Jasmine's hands gripped the tray, knuckles white. 3 years ago, she had been Dr. Jasmine Williams, a computational linguist, fluent in 9 languages, lecturing at Columbia University. But after her mother's stroke and an avalanche of medical bills, she had lost everything. Now she was here, facing the ultimate test of humiliation and opportunity. "I accept," she said, her voice steady. Richard's smile faltered. "You're going to serve me in Chinese? And if you fail, you'll apologize here in front of everyone?" The investors laughed awkwardly. One adjusted his glasses, clearly uncomfortable. But Jasmine's calm revealed something they didn't yet know. She had survived far worse storms. Richard smirked, clapping slowly. "Perfect. Let's make this more interesting." He turned to the investors. "You are about to see real arrogance." Inside, he had no idea that Jasmine held a PhD in applied linguistics with years of Mandarin expertise, including dialectal studies. 3 years ago, Jasmine's mother suffered a stroke. Medical bills soared to $800,000. She sold her Manhattan apartment, her car, her rare book collection. Her academic career evaporated. Friends disappeared. Colleagues stopped calling. And yet she never stopped learning. At night, after double shifts as a waitress and caregiver, she studied Mandarin, reviewed research, and prepared for a day when her knowledge would matter again. Now, all that preparation would be tested in front of New York's richest and most arrogant. Richard handed her a leather-bound Chinese menu straight from Shanghai, each dish with highly technical descriptions. "Describe 5 dishes in Chinese. If you fail, you'll kneel and apologize," he said. Jasmine opened the menu and recognized the dishes immediately. Sichuan tofu, prepared with Sichuan chili peppers, the philosophy of balancing numbness and heat, the harmony between simplicity and complexity. Each word demonstrated knowledge that stunned even the investors. Richard's face went pale. This was no ordinary waitress. "Would you like me to continue in Beijing dialect, Hong Kong Cantonese, or Taiwanese Mandarin?" she asked calmly in English. The room fell silent. The arrogance of the billionaire had collided with a force he couldn't possibly understand, real expertise. The investors leaned forward, captivated. Richard could no longer hide his shock. Jasmine's performance was a masterclass, not just in language, but in competence, resilience, and the quiet power of someone underestimated for too long. The $100,000, once meant to humiliate her, now symbolized the reversal of power. For 3 years, Jasmine had been waiting for a moment to turn humiliation into triumph. Tonight, every insult, every sleepless night, every hardship had led her here, and in one brilliant, calm performance, she had proved that true knowledge always finds a way to reveal itself. Richard Blackwood never expected the quiet, overworked waitress to outshine him in front of investors. And Jasmine? She walked away with not just the money, but the knowledge that skill, patience, and perseverance always win over arrogance and wealth. If this story of power, prejudice, and triumph hooked you, subscribe now, because the next story will be even more unbelievable.